And good afternoon. Well, whenever you're watching this, who knows? This could be an episode out of time. But for right now, this is the first time that Brett and I are recording in the afternoon. So, welcome into the first episode of 2023 of the Nerd Ensemble. I'm one of your co hosts, Mr. Don Kovac. And my other awesomer, more Brettier co host is Mr. Brett Dean. Brett, how are you, man?
I am not more awesomer, not even. I don't understand how that could even be a thing. But I appreciate it, Don. Thank you. Happy New Year to you and everybody.
Yeah, man. Same to you. It's been a minute since we've recorded. Just this is 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes,
Yeah, just
but that's
about a
okay.
minute.
Life is busy, and work is busy, but don't worry because tech is also busy, and I think that's pretty much what we're going to do today. Since this is our first
Oh yeah.
episode in quite some time, we have a lot of things to talk about that we've gotten our hands on, and some many of them are Apple related, but also many of them have four wheels and go places. So
Yeah.
we've got that too. Um, so to start out today's show, couple of fun little quirky items that I got myself for happy holidays to me. So I got the Apple Magic Keyboard, is all you can see right over here with the Touch ID. This works
Mm.
great with um, my MacBook Pro right here. So
Mm-hmm.
that's exciting. I did not get the new Magic Trackpad because, well, there's no reason to get the new Magic Trackpad. It's the only reason I got this one. It doesn't feel any different to the old one. The old one being right here. It's here. Okay. The only difference is that Touch ID button, and it's really nice to be able to reach down over here and press it. Well, I pressed a button and something happened. Okay, there we go. Instead of having to reach all the way up over here and do it. So then I also have to program my left hand finger. So that would be weird. So that's kind of fun. So I'm enjoying that. And currently, you all can't see it because I don't have an easy way to show you, but I am currently looking at Brett and everything on this lovely Apple Studio display in front of me. That's
It is
this
pretty
camera
lovely, especially from a
here.
from a build quality point of view. It is, you know, it's tough to put into words. When you see it in pictures, it's fine, but when you see it in person, like many products, it has its own aura to it that you can only get from a well machined piece of hardware.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and that they most definitely have that going for them with this device. Um, I did it on a whim, and um, so far, man, you know how many times on the show, Barrett, we've talked about. Well, you're more of an office guy, and you've got your space to go to, and that's where you do your work,
Hmm.
right? Well,
Yeah.
I might be heading more in that direction as I have this 27-inch screen in front of me. Um, but yeah, so that's certainly Brett and I are both. You're viewing us through the center stage camera built in the highly controversial center stage camera built into the device. Um, and certainly, while it's not as good as what would be the ones, well, the one on my MacBook would be good. Um, oh, center stage is active. It's following Brett wherever he goes. Oh yeah, I
Now,
didn't
see,
even.
I just turned that on up in the little control panel. That isn't on by default when you're using
Right.
something like Chrome. Apple's apps will automatically do that. Um, I had to activate it just now. Otherwise, it'll go back to normal camera. Oh, there I'm on normal camera. And this is actually where it's at its best. This is when it looks like the iPhone camera that it actually is. Okay? So when you disable that up in the control panel, if you're a Mac user, in the upper right hand corner where it says video effects, in the control panel, you can set it to center stage, like I'm doing now, and it will zoom in and crop and follow you automatically. Okay?
Mhm.
But if you click that again, it'll go away and it'll look great. All right? So now it looks okay. And then it'll
Mhm.
even do portrait mode, which will
Yeah.
allow me to be in a blur zone behind me, okay?
Mhm.
Or center stage and portrait mode. This is exciting. Or turn that all
Oh,
off
indeed.
and have it look like a pretty good iPhone camera again.
Yeah, and that's this. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that because that's the first time I've even played with Center Stage on this thing.
That was not there a couple OS updates ago. All right, so since I've had the studio display,
Interesting.
that's been there. When we
Hmm.
started this, and I was rather unhappy, like all Mackies about this, wasn't there. So you just kind of had to live with the crappy camera. But now you get a little bit of self
Get
determination.
some. Yeah, you get a little something something in there, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool. Um, so that's been a lot of fun. And currently, what we Brett and I both tried to use continuity camera so that we can use our
Mm-hmm.
iPhone cameras for this particular show. But so far, it's not playing nice with our broadcasting application. So look forward to that when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I know, Brett. Do you? So one thing that I got is the Belkin um, little mount that will allow you to mount it on top of your uh, laptop display, which also it comes with this handy little thing that kind of looks like a bottle opener, but it attaches via MagSafe, and you can use it as a stand on the table in front of you.
How well is
Which
that
I
going to
find kind
work on the studio display? Does it work at all?
no, it does not work at all. It is not built for such a thing. However, and this is
Interesting.
what
Okay.
about 2 weeks ago, right? I want to say in that little pocket of time between Christmas and New Year's, the reviews went live of the Belkin option that will attach to displays. And you
Mm-hmm.
cannot buy it yet because when I purchased this one, I wanted to purchase it, but it's not yet available for purchase. Coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I would absolutely advocate for us doing that when that product is available. I think this one here was $30,
Mm-hmm.
and the one for displays will be $40. So
Okay.
um, we'll update all of
Yeah,
you when that
because
product is available.
we use StreamYard and a lot of broadcasters, YouTubers, all kinds of people that do any form of podcasting or video casting use StreamYard. So it's definitely got to be one of the apps that either Apple works to update with or they work to update with this continuity camera. Because there's a lot of iPhone users out there. Um, and yeah, I would imagine compatibility is a must between those two because it's a heavyweight in the streaming um, genre of applications. So I mean that would be my first case use for something like this. I don't necessarily know that I need something like continuity camera for just like talking to mom on the FaceTime or anything like that.
Right.
So it's something that I'm definitely looking forward to trying once it gets used in a case like this, where we're live on and streaming.
100%. 100%. I think this is the number one reason to use
Mm-hmm.
it. I think, at least for me, the built-in
Mm-hmm.
camera. If I'm out on, and I just have my MacBook Pro, the camera is great on that. It'd be perfectly fine for just about any situation. And that's what I
Mm-hmm.
was using for quite some time until I got this big honking thing in front of me. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think in most applications it would be fine. But I think should we ever get to a point where we start doing the show in 4K, or certainly start putting makeup on in front, before we do the show, um,
I'm here,
then having
blemishes
that
and all,
makeup in.
baby. Yeah.
That's true. I wouldn't. I mean, this face. There's only so much you can do here.
Or
So, and so yeah, I will definitely purchase that and have some fun with that.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing that I just thought about the studio display. It does play very nicely. I love that, just one cable plug in. Mac OS remembers all of my settings. But I never thought that I would quite get to a place where like I'm trackpad on the left and mouse guy on the right. But here we are.
Oh, that's an interesting setup. Okay.
And that's not quite where the nerdiness starts, or because I can't use a mouse left-handed. I mean, I'm a right-handed person. If I'm gonna use a mouse, I'm gonna use it in my right hand. And I'm slowly but surely learning to use the trackpad with my left hand, and changing, swiping up into center stage and all that. Or sorry, not center stage. Spaces and all that stuff. Mission control. That's what it's called. So it's been in the way how nicely the keyboard easily like unlocks my Mac. Like just press the touch. It's great. So I am having a lot of fun with this setup so far. Gaming on a lot too, because Brett, are you sitting down? Oh wait, yeah, I can see you are. Guess what I've been running on this Mac?
Roblox?
Well, that too, because my older two children are Roblox fanatics. But Windows 11. Now, folks, that reaction that I just got from Brett there was 100% worth it. 100%. Now, let's be clear on one thing, Brett. There is literally only one reason I am running Windows 11 on this device. Literally. And it is because Mojang and Microsoft have yet to make the Bedrock edition of Minecraft available on Mac OS. I am booting into Windows via Parallels Desktop to play Minecraft on this big, beautiful 27-inch display.
Okay, how's the performance?
Well, see, I was running the Parallels Desktop 18 Pro version as the trial, and it was running great. And I recently was like, you know what? I'm going to try and just purchase the standard or the basic edition. I can't remember what it's called, for a lot cheaper. I wish I would have bought the other thing. It's a little bit jankier. It runs okay. But like even compared to like my iPad Pro, like I can still play it on my iPad Pro, totally fine. But my Mac is definitely faster than my iPad Pro. I just wanted to see how it would go, and it leaves a little bit to be desired.
Okay.
And yes, Windows 11 just still does suck. But not to upset any Windows users out there, but I'm going to upset some Windows users out there. It looks nice, and it runs because of Parallels. It runs nicely in Retina resolution on the display, so I'm not losing anything there. But yeah, it leaves a little bit to be desired. At any rate, and of course, this here is hooked up to my iPhone 14 Pro that I did end up purchasing. So there's that. Oh yeah, and then there's this thing. Nobody on the show has seen this thing. Yeah, I've got this thing. Jeez, man, I'm going crazy here. This is too much.
Go, man.
The Apple Watch Ultra. So yeah, I've got the Apple Watch Ultra. I freaking love it. Oh my god, I look at my lady's Apple Watch Series 4, and I'm just like, it's so widow. Then there's a Series 2 kicking around here that's like the 42 millimeter, and it's like it's even so more widower. But yeah, it's a chonker, but oh man, I love it. I love it. And the 14 Pro is really nice too. I don't know why I did it. Here's your always on display. See, there you go. There's Brett right there.
Yeah.
See, there he is.
Oh, looky. Yep. Yeah, I'll be looking forward
Um,
to the iPhone 15 this year. I'm excited about some of the new things. The not notch. What are we calling it? The dynamic island.
the dynamic island. It is
Dynamic
really
island.
not been all that dynamic in daily usage. It's
I
cute and it's
figured.
fun. I
Do you know what I
haven't, but I
thought of
haven't.
first?
What's that?
You know what I thought of first with the dynamic island? I thought touch bar. I thought that's about how much people are gonna use it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty
I have
close, aren't
had
I?
similar thoughts. Yeah, I've had similar
Okay.
thoughts. I mean, it just depends
Okay.
on where they, because just like the Touch Bar when it
Hmm.
debuted and it all slowly made its way across a lot of the laptop line, the rumors are
Hmm.
with the 15 that the Dynamic Island is coming, and it does make sense. I guess I really haven't had any experience with it in terms of like turn by turn apps and those things where it lives up there, and I can get that sort of interactiveness. But like when a call comes in and I'm on the phone, it just pops down out of the dynamic island and I can click on it right there. Or
Hmm.
there are some, it's nice, but it's not, for me at least, it's not quite as groundbreaking as I had
Hmm.
um originally expected. And of course, in my ears are the AirPods Pro 2, because that was just as much as the AirPods Pro were absolute insta buy. These were also just, don't even think, click, 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 boom, done. So I'm really enjoying those a lot.
Can I propose a topic here just right off the bat? And
Sure.
I think you've got the cool stuff right now. You know what I mean? Like you've got the right now stuff that's really really hip. The Apple Watch Ultra. You've got some groovy new stuff on your desk. I just want to really quick recap some things from CES that I wonder if
Oh yeah.
people
Okay.
noticed out there. So let me do a little share window here. Let's see if I can get that up there. Now, this is going to deviate off our Apple centric topic here for just a minute. But here are some of the unique things that came out at CES that grabbed my eye from a tech perspective.
Mhm.
And Don, I just want to kind of get your reactions to some of these things as they are, maybe how they impact us in the Apple ecosystem and what you think about that. Okay. So the first is the
Interesting.
Lenovo Yoga Book 9. Okay. Have you seen this or have you been hip
I
to what's
didn't
going
pay
on with this
attention.
thing?
I did not
Okay.
pay attention to CES even a bit.
Okay. All right. So
Interesting.
a lot of the excitement was based around this laptop. Like it got a lot of coverage and people were losing their minds over this thing. Um,
Huh.
because of its really interesting form factor. All right. So they went all in on the dual screen philosophy, which in the iOS and Apple ecosystem, we haven't even begun to explore that. Now, what this thing
Right.
folds into is it goes laptop format. That's where, if you can see, can you guys see where my mouse is moving? Can you see that?
I cannot see that.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if that's in there or not. Okay, so
Nice if
the
it was.
left bottommost picture where one of the screens is actually acting as the trackpad itself. So dig that.
Interesting. Oh, so like the bottom one
The
is it?
bottom
Yes.
screen, yeah, like so the screen that's black on the side by side, and then there's a picture of a woman flipping over going into a window. So that black side is has become on this one the trackpad, and then you lay the keyboard over it. There's the above that is the dual vertical screens. Then you have
Mhm.
or dual horizontal screens making one big tall vertical screen. Then you've got the dual side by side going in a clockwise motion here. Then you've got sort of your traditional like Chromebook keyboard is face down and then angled up display thing. And then you've got the A-frame two displays, one on each side, which nobody will use. And then you've got sort of the e-reader format where there's two screens side by side like a book. And I I actually thought this was clever. I almost never get excited about dual screen things because I think they are kind of janky, and I think when you put effort into two screens, you're not getting one really good one, which
Right,
has
right, right.
been the Apple OS philosophy for ages. Um, so what do you think about that? Because I actually applaud like the usability in what they've done here. I like that it can become a regular laptop and that you can use one of the screens as the trackpad. I mean, to me, that's almost the best innovation right there.
Um, yeah, I just looking at it, I mean, my first impression is like, oh my God, like this is crazy. And I know they've done this is not the first like dual screen, like the
Hmm.
first yoga book sort of thing that they're doing, but they're clearly in going in a different direction here. I like the second screen. I'm guessing that just imagining like the second screen height when it's up would
Hmm.
be like at a reasonable height where you're not looking down like at normal laptop height.
Hmm.
That's interesting. Um, so that's cool. And then, like maybe lesser needed functions, just like right now, I've got our iMessage chat open here on my MacBook Pro. And, I'm
Hmm.
looking over here for that. And I've got my iPad Pro down here. Um, I've got too much stuff. Wait, I forgot I can use continuity keyboard or whatever that universal control. Okay, anyway, that's a different
Hmm.
thought. So you can okay, so it doesn't have a trackpad, which to me is essential. But that's the touchpad right below the keyboard, which is the screw. Whoa, okay, yeah, okay.
Hmm.
The way that it can open up like a book. Okay. I don't know, man. I mean, $2,000 for that thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's MacBook Pro money, but you get so many different
Hmm.
possibilities. Anyway, I mean, it's first look, so
It's
we don't know how
interesting.
this thing is.
I'm, dude, I'm completely intrigued. So yeah, I would
Yeah,
love to have, $2,000 just laying around. Well, just
yeah,
laying around where I could
exactly.
give that a spin. But that's
It's kind of
okay. Yeah,
interesting,
you've
right?
you've
Okay.
got me interested. You've
All
got
right,
me
here's the next
interested.
one. Here's the next one. So, as an iPad Pro user, what do you think about that? They're coming for you.
Okay, all right. What's this one? The Lenovo Tab Extreme. Okay, because I'm on the Verge here too. Well, along with
Mm-hmm.
you. Um, so that's Lenovo. Uh, so I've got you all are over here, on my screen over on this side, and then I've got this open here because I can do that on this device. Okay, Lenovo Tab Extreme. Let's see. Okay, yes, I'm looking at this article. Oh, also, big shout out. I have this app, a Safari extension called Noir, which I think I've talked about on the show before. I have it on the Mac now. For certain sites, it works really well. Um, 14.5 inch. Okay, all right. So it comes. Okay, so dual hinge keyboard. Okay, it serves as a stand. Okay, looking very much like the Magic Keyboard that I have right here in front of me. Okay, yeah,
Extremely like the Magic Keyboard.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's almost like they know who they're trying to go after. Let's see here.
The design of it too. Look at the one I've got up on the screen now. I mean, from the
Yeah.
side perspective.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But look at this. They're smart enough to put a second USB-C port in there.
Yes.
You mean I can
just
charge
on
it
the device?
and
yes.
use peripherals? I mean, oh my God.
And
right?
it's
What a
14 point. Okay. So
Yeah.
clearly they are going after this mythical 14 or larger sized iPad Pro that's supposed to be coming at some point this year. Oh, okay, but it doesn't. Oh, that's the Galaxy Tab S8. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's got Android on it. Interesting. I mean, is it OLED? I didn't catch it. Oh, yep.
3K OLED display, 120 hertz.
Wow, 3K.
I mean, at that
It's
price
interesting.
point,
Does it say it doesn't say that okay, fingerprint sensor, micro SD slot. Okay. Center stage light camera comes. It doesn't say if you have. I'm assuming you have to buy the pencil or the pen or whatever separately. Oh, and look at that. See how the pen
comes with.
it does. Okay. Oh, comes with. Oh yeah. Wow. Interesting. And the pencil. And look where the pencil sits.
I know.
On the bottom side. Interesting. Okay, so they're just tweaking Apple's design. And it doesn't looks like it's a media row.
Yeah, potentially offering a little bit more value if you think that Android is as good for a tablet as iPad OS or iOS, which is a huge caveat.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Anyway, I'm just putting that out there. That's coming. We'll have to see how Apple responds to that because that is a clear shot, Oh,
100%. And of course, normally in the past, it's completely been Samsung that would do this kind of thing and just like keep pumping out this kind of stuff. But now Lenovo.
I know. Watch my next tab.
Okay. Okay. Yoga AI09. Okay, interesting. What is this thing?
It's an all-in-one. It's a 31-inch 4K all-in-one.
4K.
A 4K, okay, but remember, most of the world uses a 4K display.
Yes.
And that's way better than the crappy 1080 or 1440p displays that a lot of the PC world uses. So this is a step up in terms of that. But from a design perspective, that thing looks great. In terms of value, that's not too bad.
Well, it's only can come up with up to 32 gigs of RAM, which isn't a lot, and up to a terabyte of fast PCIe storage, which is fast, but only up to a terabyte.
Fair enough.
Interesting.
But where does Apple's only all-in-one, which is a 21-inch...
No, 24-inch.
24-inch iMac, where does it max out on some of those things,
I'm going to guess 2 or 4 terabytes of storage. And
let's have a look.
Does only do 16 gigs of RAM, though. That's...
Okay.
Because it's got the M1. The M1 can only do 16 terabytes, 16 gigs of RAM. But a terabyte interesting. I mean, yeah, but can they do this? Go down and up and down and
I bet it can. I have a hunch that it can, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, How do I even get around Apple's website here? Okay, all right.
iMac.
It's
There you
like I've
go.
never been here before.
Yeah.
Tech specs up to
4.5K
16,
up to
2
2
terabyte
terabytes.
storage. Okay,
So
so
not bad.
in some ways it beats it a little bit. It loses on size. It beats it
Hmm.
on resolution. It ties it on memory, right? Or loses on memory. I can't remember what did the
Hmm.
Lenovo go up to.
No, no.
It
Well,
it
32
wins
on the Lenovo.
on um, it wins on storage. On design, I would say tie.
Um, and it only lets you tilt. It does not let you raise or lower. It says it
Okay,
only lets you
okay.
tilt.
So about the
Um,
same.
right. So it's interesting. I mean, certainly it's
Oh,
interesting to
my
look
dog.
at. Yeah,
Here, I'm gonna turn it over to you for a second while I
yeah, go for it.
solve my.
So, so yeah, I mean, it's certainly an interesting looking thing, and all the base is a built-in wireless charger, so that's kind of nice. It has Wi-Fi 6E, which is the fastest Wi-Fi networking you can get. Two USB 3.2 Type A ports, one USB Type 4 port, one USB-C
Mhm.
3.2 port, and one HDMI 2.1 port, which can do up to 120 words at
Mhm.
4K. Yeah,
You know,
it's interesting.
one of my points, I guess, is what is the commonality between all these? It's Lenovo. Lenovo is coming hard, you know,
They
uh,
really,
f-
really appear to be.
f- for Apple's game. And like you brought up, this is typically a Samsung thing to do. Um, but here we see, Lenovo really going after, like, really like working on their industrial design, um, making really compelling products like the dual screen and the iPad knockoff. So we'll have to see how that plays out this year, but it's an interesting way to start 2023.
Hmm. Oh
Here's
yeah.
a couple of my other things, and our favorite people, Samsung, are back at it here. Um,
No. Yep.
yeah, The Verge captures how I feel about this. From a design standpoint, this is almost the Mac Studio display. Now, finally, there's a 5K third-party monitor that's available, and it looks just like an Apple display on your desk.
Hmm.
There's a
Hmm.
little bit of a bump there at the bottom, which kind of ruins the flat lines of that. If you care about that kind of thing, but to say now that there's a 5K display that's probably going to be priced less than the Studio display that can tilt and can go up and down, and you didn't have to pay extra for it for the same resolution and probably the same panel as the Apple. That's kind of exciting. The Dell comes after the Pro Display XDR. All right, there's the Samsung. That'll go after the Studio
Right.
display. And then the Dell, which does not have as great of an industrial design, but it's a um, 6K display, and I think it. Let's see. There was some other way where it was matching some Pro Display XDR. Uh, yeah, I can't find that now, but that's gonna be the thing that a lot of Pro Mac users get. I think if they don't have to have the absolute best, and eh, it's tough to even say the Pro Display XDR is the best at anything, because it's a fairly average Pro Display from all we've heard about it, and extremely
I,
expensive. So, it'd be interesting to see where these go. The Dell is obviously hideous. Just looking at it, it's obviously hideous. But if I'm fairly budget
oh man,
conscious,
is that
I,
terrible?
I, I might go that route. So, Actually, I
Yeah,
mean, there's finally some compelling third-party
no.
displays. There haven't been. The LG
Yeah,
ones were
but
awful, and I kind of dreaded, the thought that I would ever have to get them because they were all plasticky and they were kind of awful. And um, these look great. I mean, they would match.
no, they don't look great. But they
They look
sound
okay.
good ish. The Dell, come
Hmm.
on, man. The Dell is hideous. The
It's
Samsung
hideous. Yeah, the
Viewfinity
Samsung is
looks fine.
pretty good.
It looks like
Yeah,
a studio display. I mean, we're both looking at them right now. I mean, like, come on,
yeah.
it's terrible. That's a which as we were saying, Samsung is very well known for ripping off Apple at every turn. But the Dell, I mean, the Pro, from everything I've heard, I still have yet to see a Pro Display XDR in person, and I would like to
Hmm.
someday. Um, but I'm convinced that the Pro Display XDR, which is rumored to get an update this year,
Hmm.
rumored, as well as possibly a Studio Display Pro with mini LED screen, which looking at the differences between the mini LED display and my MacBook Pro, and then I can see the differences in blacks when I'm
Hmm.
looking at them side
Oh,
by side.
oh yeah. Yes.
But that's okay because it's whatever that next Apple thing is going to be twice as much as this thing, and so that's out of my league. Um, but in terms of the fact that Apple has more competition in this space, to me, the dream scenario is that these things push Apple to do something better.
Right.
That's all I care about, because in the article that you're referencing, they talk about how you're probably not going to get ProMotion, you're not going to get True Tone, you're not going to get that stuff that just makes it a little bit nicer
Hmm.
than that. And we don't know what the microphone's going to sound like. We don't know what the camera's going to look like.
Okay,
Um,
there's a lot of little details. Yeah.
so it's not
Um,
yes. So it's but it's good because Apple needs to be pushed in this market
mhm.
100%, and now there's two companies pushing them, and that's a good thing.
It's you want to believe Apple's not inherently evil at their core, pun intended. But it's like, if you leave them and you don't watch them, it's kind of like a mischievous small child. Um,
I know, I
they'll
have one.
they'll set fire to things and they'll get you if you don't watch them for a little bit.
Mhm.
And so Apple's kind of like that. If you just kind of don't watch them and you don't give them any competition, what they do is they don't set fire to things. They just start price gouging the hell out of you. You know, that's why I've still got the burning money background up in
In the
the
background of the
old
show,
window
yeah.
there. Yeah. Because that started with us talking about the studio display and how I thought, my God, it's okay, but it's a shit ton of money. Sorry. Um, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
but I prefer that route in seeing 5 and 6K displays to something like this. That would be cool, but the
Mm.
problem is with these OLEDs, while they're great and they're
What is it?
starting to get 120 hertz refresh rates and things like that, there's still the resolution is so bad. You know what I mean? Okay, they're even getting 240 hertz refresh rates, but
Oh, yeah, for gaming.
yeah, for gaming and things like that, that's lovely. But I mean, I think you and I are in it for more of a graphics perspective, and like we would rather see 4 and 5 and 6K displays than. Although you know what, I'd sure like a 5K OLED in one of these things someday.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Perfect blacks would be great.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
As
yep,
we are both owners of OLED TVs,
yes, we know what
it
that's
is it
like.
is definitely one of those things that, yeah, you can't replace it. So yeah, see, you have the iVision D pulled up here.
Yes, the only thing I
Uh
could say about this, and I'll just say this, it's cool. It is completely impractical because could you imagine if you ever got one scratch in this, your car would bleed. It would leak. It would leak out all the color changing e-ink goo. You can never get a dent. If you're in a hailstorm, it'll look like 1,000 cracked monitor screens. You know, if you've ever cracked a phone or a monitor screen, and you've seen that goo in there, just imagine that, but on your
Mhm.
car and completely non-repairable. That's all I think about when I see this. I'm like, yeah, it's
Mhm.
pretty cool, but you could never do that unless you just always drove it in the perfect sunshine at about 10 miles an
100%.
hour.
Right. And it's not, yeah, that's crazy. And that's not really going to happen. So, like, it's cool to show that off and all that, but it's not a real thing. It's a concept, just like that. And it's cool that
Yeah.
we're both fans of BMW, and
Yeah.
you drive one, and to see them pushing the envelope is really cool. But
Now,
we
on the
also know.
interior, that might be kind of cool. Like, because they're doing a lot with just like accent lighting and stuff like that all over the cars, which
Mhm.
you can change to different colors. I could see them using this inside where, like, okay, today my trim's going to be blue, or today
Mhm.
my trim color is going to be, like bright red, or it's going to
Right, yeah.
have, maybe the M colors or something like that. I can see them like trying to do that. But I think on the outside, it's just totally ridiculous. Unless there's like an indestructible clear plastic layer over that, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, no, there's got to be a way, but yeah, what is that way and how good is it?
Hmm.
And then yeah,
Yeah.
like you're saying, the bull aspect of it, um, that's is it? We don't know. Um, so, and of course, my little creature has now awoken.
Uh oh.
Um,
So we could start to wrap it up if you want to, and
yeah,
maybe talk about next time or.
Yeah, so um, we have a big. There's probably other things that I haven't talked about yet, and certainly we have a car corner episode that we have to
Hmm.
get going on here because both of us are driving different vehicles than the
Yeah.
last time uh,
Hmm.
we did a show. Um, so there's plenty of good stuff to talk about. Um, in our next episode. Which do we want to talk about it now, or do we want to talk about it offline? Oh,
Let's talk about it. Let's why don't you speculate for everybody, and then we can talk about it offline.
okay. Also, this is another nerdy thing. So you saw that I have the tilt and height adjustable display here, so that was fun. But also, so in my iPhone 14, it comes with the little regular USB-C to Lightning cable, whereas in
Yes.
the iPhone, Apple's most profitable and most popular device. But anyway, in the box for the Touch ID uh, keyboard, it comes with a nice braided USB-C to Lightning cable,
They need to
which
start doing more of that.
in the Apple Watch Ultra box, it came with. Oh, I guess this isn't it. That's right. It's in my car. It came with a nice braided USB-C to Apple Watch charger. Like they're moving in the Thunderbolt cable for the studio display is braided. They're moving more in this direction. But why not put it in the freaking iPhone box? Come on. Anyway, um, so I think we certainly have plenty of stuff to talk to everybody about the next episode. So maybe next week sometime,
That'd be
Monday or
lovely.
Wednesday. Monday or Wednesday
Yeah.
look like they might work for you.
Yeah, I did. I don't. I'll have. We'll talk about it offline because I'm not 100
Right.
percent sure. But sooner. We won't wait till
Okay.
2024. I promise everybody that.
No. Life has been a struggle here, and there, but we're all good. It's all good. We're gonna get through it, and check our awesome Facebook page to keep up to date with when the next episode is going to be. Check out your CES coverage. Check out a lot of the other new stuff going on, and we will update y'all when we are ready to announce when the next show is. So before we get out of here, thank you all for tuning in and participating in the show. By all means, send us feedback on the Facebook page. And thanks for watching us on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live.
All right. Until next time, everybody, have fun with your tech out there and send us a line. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, man. We would indeed. And stay well, everybody. Take care, buddy. Oh, the song. That's right. We got our song. I love it.